So why do they work? Well, by choosing and thinking positive affirmations, the subconscious is forced into one of two reactions. Either it avoids what we're saying, or it has to reappraise its model of the world. Now, the bigger the issue, and the bigger the gap between the positive affirmation and the perceived inner truth, the more likely it is that you will experience resistance. And this resistance is where the subconscious finds it easier to stay with its perceived inner truth and avoid the challenge, using any means at its disposal to avoid examining the situation. And you'll recognise this situation by a very strong negative feeling inside you as you state the positive affirmation. Equally, if your experience is one of joy and well-being, then your mind is instinctively responding to something it believes is true. When you get this emotion, you know that your affirmations are working. Continually repeating affirmations with conviction and passion will chip away at even the strongest resistance. However, there are a number of additional techniques that you can use that will supercharge your affirmations and magnify their effectiveness many-fold. Once the resistance is broken, your subconscious is able to re-examine the core belief and patterns you have been working on. The effect can be startling, and things can change very, very quickly as the dysfunctional beliefs are identified and replaced by your own new inner truth. Depending on how deep in your subconscious these beliefs lie, every other learned pattern and belief that relied on your original belief becomes unfounded. It's got to melt away because it's got no foundations anymore. But there is a cautionary note attached to all this work. The subconscious has to re-examine all your beliefs, and this can lead you to a period of introspection. So if you find yourself experiencing serious resistance, or you've identified an area of trauma in your life, then please seek professional support. The journey you are embarking on will release you from the past, but if you haven't got the proper support around you as you go through the process, it's going to be very difficult and very traumatic for you. Affirmations actually reprogram your thought patterns. In other words, they change the way you think and feel about things. And because you now own new positive beliefs, positive change comes easily and naturally. This will start to reflect in your external life, and you will start to experience monumental changes for the better in many areas of your life. So how quickly do they actually work? Well, like I said to you before, they can happen very, very quickly indeed on the first day, and there will be affirmations that you enjoy and love saying. These affirmations are likely to be very effective for you, and you are likely to start experiencing changes almost straight away. Some will feel very negative, almost like a big lie, and this indicates resistance. These areas may take longer to impact. How quickly you can resolve an issue like this is rather like asking how long is a piece of string. It all depends on the issue, how deeply the belief is held, and how determined you are to bring about change in the area of your life that you're working on. The latter probably is the most important of all. But if you are truly ready and you want to make changes, the quicker those changes will come for you. People have made changes in their beliefs almost instantaneously. Once you are prepared to embrace and accept a change, and you believe it to be right from your very heart, that change is going to happen. So it isn't really a question of time, more a question of how open to change you are. However, please don't be under any illusions. Embarking on this process, you are starting a journey of a lifetime. As you see and experience the techniques working for you, you will be driven to explore your inner self further, and other techniques. As you make your changes in one aspect of your life, other issues will pop out of the woodwork that you may want to deal with. Will affirmations help? Absolutely. No matter what aspect of life you're dealing with or who you are, affirmations will not only make you feel better about yourself and your life, but if used correctly, they can manifest real change in your life. Changing the way you think, reprogramming your mind and removing the old negative beliefs that have been sabotaging you again and again throughout your life to date. They can enable you to achieve the life you've always wanted for yourself. So why doesn't everyone use affirmations? Well, in actual fact, they do. Everything in your life, tables, chairs, light bulbs, cars, etc., were once in the realm of affirmation and visualization. Now, I don't want to get into the realms of quantum physics here, but suffice to say that this table had to be visualized and created from a set of affirmations. Now, I know you can't see the table, but I'm pointing at the table here in the studio. It's been demonstrated that nearly 90% of our thoughts are negative. No wonder we find ourselves struggling. Each negative thought or word is a negative affirmation. Now, this is where I wanted you to be careful, because even though it's coming out as a negative, and it says here in my talk that it's a negative affirmation, it's actually still a positive statement. But they can be very, very nasty because we interpret them as negatives. And because of that, and because they are negative, we tend to find them easier to accept. And it's these negative thoughts that feed and validate our negative internal beliefs. Under this kind of negative bombardment, most people simply don't have the strength to break free of their negative thoughts. So they become hopelessly locked into their own, usually false, negative beliefs. Positive affirmations are designed to challenge those beliefs and start to stem the flow of negative thoughts and words that seek to validate them. Affirmations are more than just repeating words over and over again. It is a whole process of becoming aware of your thoughts and words in everyday life, choosing to think and project happy, positive thoughts. The more you can consciously inject the spirit of your affirmation into your daily thoughts and words, the quicker they are going to work for you. So how do you create your own affirmations? Well, start by taking some time to think about areas of your life that you'd like to improve and how you would want your life to look. It's worth taking some time over this process. Write the most important things down. Make a list and look at each item on the list and write out a few positive statements for each one. They've got to be positive and they have to be in the present tense. Focus on what you do want, not what you don't want. For example, on my list there were several things that were important to me, and one of them was a fulfilling job. So my affirmation for that read, I have a wonderful job that fulfills me on many levels. Creating your own affirmations is the perfect way to get the right affirmation for you. Here's another example that is a very simple releasing affirmation. I am ready and willing to release the past now. Now, I said earlier on about supercharging them. And there are other techniques that you can use that will change the effectiveness. In fact, they will supercharge them. And so I'll outline a few here now. First of all, mirror work. This is perhaps the most powerful way of using affirmations. You can use them whilst you're looking at yourself in the mirror, straight in the eye. Some of the most important messages you will have received in your life have come from people looking you straight in the eye. By looking yourself in the eye as you state your affirmations, you will magnify the importance of that message to yourself. It's so hard to get away from somebody who's staring you straight in the eye, looking at you. You can't avoid it. Writing them down. A great way to keep your affirmations at the forefront of your mind is write them down. Leave notes or cards lying about your office or your home so that you notice them throughout the day. You could also write them down many, many times, 10 or 20 at a time. This will help imprint the words into your mind. Say all your affirmations with passion. The higher your emotional state as you say them, the more effective they will become. You can actually sing or chant them, because one of the most effective ways to use them is to sing them. The mind is much more accepting of affirmation messages when they are sung. And anybody who's heard of Louise Hay may know that she does a thing called a Heal Your Life workshop, and all her affirmation work is all sung and chanted. And then one that I really, really do like the sound of, and I've never actually had the opportunity to try it, and that is a technique called an affirmation bath, or if you come from down this part of the world, a bath. And this is often used in workshops because it requires several people sitting around the person who is being the subject of the bath, and they're making positive statements about them. An affirmation bath can be an amazing experience. Multiple voices coming from many directions simultaneously overwhelm the mind, and it can't resist what is being said, and the positive affirmations slip straight through to the subconscious. You can't experience this alone though. You've got to do it with a group of like-minded people, or you've got to attend a workshop. So some examples of affirmations. Right, I'm not going to read the whole list, but anybody that wants it can give me a shout and I'll email it over to them. So I'm just going to pick a few at random. For health, loving myself heals my life. I nourish my mind, body and soul. For abundance, the more grateful I am, the more reasons I find to be grateful. Affirmation for love. I give out love and it is returned to me multiplied. Affirmation for romance. I release any desperation and allow love to find me. Affirmation for self-esteem. I express my needs and feelings. And affirmation for peace and harmony. All my relationships are loving and harmonious. And so that brings me now to the end of this rather epic broadcast, this groundbreaking broadcast, a monumental one in the history of Coaching Radio and Cauldron FM. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you've found it useful, and you will continue to find it so. As I say, if you want a copy of the full list of affirmations, please drop me a line to either cauldronfm@gmail.com or devonlifecoach@gmail.com, and I'll get one in the post to you, or I'll email you back with them. So once again, as I say, thank you very much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed it. My name's Dave Baxter of Altered Image and the Merlin of Cauldron FM. See ya. Bye bye. And this has been a Moonshadow Media production for Altered Image Life Coaching. Take care. Speak to you soon.